think I've seen the bike barn. I've definitely seen the Nova Scotia one in there. Oh yeah, I have seen that one. It's right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome
to Nova Scotia.
to Blue Point. Is it Blue Point?
Blue Rock.
Blue Rock. Okay.
I'm thinking of
Crab.
oysters.
This is day 2 of the Nova Scotia trip, about 70.5 on the directions, kilometer 70.5 on the directions. This is Beach Meadows Beach. And this is Beach Meadows just a little further down the road. This is about mile 70, kilometer 78 on the day 2 of the Nova Scotia trip. The light of the lighthouse, no doubt. So this is the marsh side of the production plant, and the other side is now at low tide, where the water comes from. So this is about the 62 to 63 kilometer point on day 3 of the Nova Scotia Backroads trip. And we're supposed to be approaching a lighthouse. We just passed the Port Royal Melanson settlement. So just a little ways down here is supposed to be a lighthouse. was advertised. Red and white lighthouse. This is about kilometer 60, still on Highway 1, heading back towards Annapolis Royal. Now, presumably, this would be low tide, and this stream might even flow uphill when it reaches the high tide mark. This is a kilometer 60.7 on the day 4 of the Nova Scotia Backroads trip. This is some bridge I'm crossing. And here we are back where we started this morning, Annapolis Royal. And this is this large waterway which is protected from the Bay of Fundy, but leads into the Bay of Fundy, and we'll be able to get a view of where that connection takes place as we get more down towards the wharf in town. Now as we zoom way towards the end there, that's where the ships that are docked in this bay can leave into the Bay of Fundy. The black area on the rocks here is how high the water goes at high tide, and can even run onto the concrete of the pier here under some of the high tides if the moon is visible. Now if you follow this waterway around enough, you'll get to the power generation, the Tidal power generation station, which is just to the right of this area. It's back over that Highway 1 we crossed, where the bridge we came from was. And this is the Hillsdale house that has been our home for 2 nights. Hi Martin.
How you doing?
Fine.
You got the camera?
Yep, smile, you're on candid camera.
Martin's been putting a very insightful putting that together.
Oh, really?
Even the glass, the day before it opened, the glass wasn't there. My father came home and got
You are so generous.
Sorry, what was the other question? The cup?
Curry carrot soup or smoked steak?
I'll take the curry.
Curry carrot? Okay.
Soup as well. Thank you.
Curry carrot soup or smoked steak?
Not sure I know how to use this.
So the tide looks like it's pretty high now, is that right?
I think 7 is the highest.
Okay.
Tide is 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Hey, you better do that. Thank you, Joe.
Then come back out here.
I'm making a little boat so she can just pull it right out. Okay. As needed.
What are you doing that time?
Because baby outside.
How do you know you doing well? I don't know.
We're not eating it. Just wait until we all get our laps.
Oh, he's doing the video.
He's doing that side.
Oh, so yeah, kind of they need video for the website.
There we go.
When you're like a perfect
When you think of death, dying, and old graveyards, are there any images or any symbols that maybe come to mind when you think of death and dying in graveyards?
Ghosts.
Ghosts. Well, we've got a fair crowd here tonight, and the breeze is starting to pick up a bit. We might stir something up, but I haven't seen too many ghosts yet. I'm afraid of them. But I will tell you, if you feel something gray and furry walking around your legs, it might not be a ghost, but there's sometimes a cat. Anybody else who has thinks of something when they think of death and dying in graveyards?
Symbols.
Symbols. We'll see actually quite a few different symbols on the stones, ranging from skulls to angels. Now, folks, before we go up the stairs and into the old garrison graveyard, I just want to mention that all these hills and mounds, the ditch you're standing in now, these are the walls of a star-shaped earthen fort that was built by the French Marines between 1702 and 1708. It was called the Fort de Port-Royal, the fort at Port Royal. It's the best example in Canada of an early star-shaped earthen fort from the early 1700s still intact. But we're lucky. In 1923, when our historical association was only 4 years old, one of our members, Charlotte Isabella Perkins, whose parents owned the Hillsdale house at the time, where a few folks are staying there tonight, she walked through this graveyard. She transcribed on paper all the inscriptions. She did a little drawing of all the images. I mean, I don't know them all by heart, but anybody who's an ancestor, buried in here with a grave marker, you can do genealogy to the works of Charlotte Perkins that we have in the library. We're going to go about 40 feet to this side to see another type of stone, and I will just want to give one word of caution. We're going to walk along here, but in the middle, this one, marble stone, has not been polished. It honors a man named Ichabod. Not Crane, but same initial. His name was Ichabod Corbett, and he was a schoolmaster in Annapolis Royal. He was also the parish clerk at St. Luke's Anglican Church across the street. And in 50 years, as a parish clerk, he only missed 2 Sundays. So I do have to confess a bit more regular churchgoer than myself. I'd be kind of lying if I said I went more than twice this year, but I do have an excuse. Hey, I work every Sundays, and I do graveyard tours on Sunday nights. So my mother used to buy that one. The image on his stone is that of the weeping willow tree.
Starting at Hampton Wharf, Port George, and then picnic at Dempsey Corners, then take a van to Victoria's Historic Inn. And when the tide is down, these boats can actually be down on the sand. So we're right around the 49-kilometer point, approaching Port George area, another couple kilometers away.
Hey, how'd you like that ride down?
That's great.
You got a camera! I didn't realize that. I didn't see that.
I just use it periodically.
I can ride a little bit, but I'm just...
Hey, honey, look at David's helmet.
Oh, how cool! He's got the camera! All right, can we get a picture of this before you head out? Or no?
Yeah, honey.
Picture of what?
Who can you do mine?
Now this looks like the ocean. There's actually New Brunswick out there. And this whole thing is the Bay of Fundy. And it apparently tapers somewhere, which makes for a lot of turbulence where it tapers.
I was just joking. I was pointing the other way, the way we came from. That's right.
Yeah.
So this is day 6, final day, final morning of the Backroads trip to Nova Scotia. Just a little valley scenery here. Here we are in Halifax, going across on the Dartmouth Ferry. And there's a functioning lighthouse.
China shipping. Look at the big shipping thing they want to do. Oh, yeah. Taking over our country.
Look at, oh,
See the bridges? Are you from here? Is this a cable ferry or not? No. Thank you.
here comes another one.